It was a normal quiet morning on Earth when every screen, every phone, every billboard suddenly turned black. People stopped in the streets, confused, staring at the dark screens as a strange sound began to rise. It was a deep humming noise, like something big was waking up. Children looked at their parents, workers froze at their desks, and silence spread everywhere. Then the screen flickered, and an image appeared. A tall alien figure stood in front of a bright metallic throne. His skin was silver blue, his eyes glowing like burning ice. Behind him, an entire alien city floated in the air, towers bending into the sky. No human had ever seen anything like this before. The alien spoke slowly, calmly, as if his voice needed no effort. "People of Earth," he said, "you will watch this. All of you. This is your lesson." His voice felt cold and heavy, like it was pressing against everyone's chest. The camera shifted, and now the screen showed a huge human colony world far away in another system. A beautiful planet full of forests, oceans, cities, families. 10 billion humans lived there. And they had no idea what was about to happen. On Earth, people began to panic. Some tried to change the channel, but nothing worked. Every device was frozen, controlled by the alien broadcast. The alien leader appeared again, now smiling a slow cruel smile. "Today," he said, "the Empire shows its strength." The view changed once more, now showing massive alien ships surrounding the human colony. Dark, sharp, and silent, like shadows ready to kill. A soft alarm started ringing from the colony defense towers. People looked up at the sky in confusion. Earth watched helplessly as laser lines shot down from the alien ships. The colony shields tried to activate, but the Empire's weapons tore through them like thin paper. Explosions lit up the surface, cities burned. Screams filled the broadcast as billions of humans ran for shelter. But there was nowhere to hide. Mothers held their children, soldiers fired useless weapons at the sky. Firestorms rolled across the land. Entire buildings disappeared in seconds. The sound of destruction echoed through every speaker on Earth. People watching the broadcast cried, some dropped to their knees. Others whispered, "No, no, stop," but the screen showed no mercy. A group of children in the colony huddled together in a school hallway. One of them looked straight into a camera before the building collapsed in fire. On Earth, the world fell silent. No one talked, no one moved. It felt like humanity itself was breaking. The alien leader returned on the screen, his face calm and relaxed. Behind him, the burning world could still be seen. "You see," he said softly, 10 billion lives, gone." He paused, letting the words sink deep into every human heart. "This is your warning. Submit to the Galactic Empire. Or share their fate." His smile widened, slow and cruel. "We do not negotiate with weak species." Earth's leaders tried to cut the signal, but nothing worked. The broadcast was too powerful. Every nation, every city, every home was forced to watch the massacre until the very end. After 20 long minutes, the flames on the colony planet died down. Nothing remained except ash and broken land. 10 billion people were gone, erased in front of the whole human race. People on Earth screamed, cried, shouted, but nothing changed the screen. The alien leader leaned forward as if speaking directly into every human soul. "Earth," he whispered, "you are next." The screen went black. For a moment, the world seemed to stop breathing. Then chaos exploded. People ran in the streets, calling loved ones, shouting in fear. News stations tried to speak but their voices shook. Some fell apart, some tried to stay calm. No one knew what to do. Inside the United Earth Command Center, alarms blared. Generals shouted orders, scientists tried to analyze the broadcast. Everyone's hands shook with fear. Someone whispered, "We can't fight them, we will all die." But another voice answered, "We must. We have no choice now." The images of the dead colony kept replaying in everyone's mind. 10 billion lives lost, families burned, cities destroyed. The fear inside Earth was real and heavy, but another feeling slowly rose beneath it. Anger. A deep, burning anger that spread from one person to another. A feeling that humanity could not simply accept this. A feeling that humans must fight back, no matter the cost. Somewhere in the dark, broken silence of Earth, a spark of revenge was born. And that spark would soon grow into a storm the Empire never expected. The world stayed silent for hours after the broadcast ended. People sat in their homes staring at dead screens, afraid to even breathe. It felt like a nightmare, but everyone knew it was real. 10 billion humans were gone, and Earth had watched every second of it. In the United Earth Command Center, the leaders stood around a large table. No one spoke at first. Their eyes were red, their faces pale. Generals, scientists, diplomats, all of them looked like they had aged 10 years in a single day. Finally, the commander of Earth Defense broke the silence. His voice was low and heavy. "We cannot let this go," he said, "we cannot bow to monsters who kill billions on live broadcast." A scientist named Dr. Hale stepped forward with shaking hands. "I recorded the signal," she said, "it came from deep space, but something strange happened during the broadcast." Everyone looked at her, desperate for any hope. She hesitated, then added. "There was a glitch. A small one. A signal distortion inside their weapon blast." The generals leaned closer. "What does that mean?" one of them asked. Dr. Hale breathed slowly. "It means their weapon is not perfect. It has limits. Maybe even weaknesses." A small spark of hope flickered in the room. But fear crushed it quickly. "What can Earth do?" another officer whispered. "We have never won a single battle against them. They burned a whole planet in minutes." Before anyone could answer, the room lights flickered. Everyone froze. Memories of the broadcast rushed back into their minds. But the lights returned to normal. Still, the tension stayed, sharp like a blade against their throats. Dr. Hale opened a file and placed it on the table. "This is Project Aegis," she said, "a defense device we abandoned years ago. It was too dangerous, too unstable." She looked at the commanders. "But it is the only thing that might help us fight the Empire." The generals exchanged worried looks. "What does it do?" "It disrupts alien energy waves. If it works, it can block their weapons. And if it fails?" She swallowed hard. "It could explode and destroy half of Earth's orbit." Silence fell again, deep and cold. The leaders knew they had no safe choice. Only a desperate one. Earth's commander finally spoke. "Get the team ready. Bring back Project Aegis." Everyone felt fear, but also something new, determination. Outside, the world was changing. People were angry now, not just scared. Billions gathered in streets holding pictures of the lost colony. Families cried and shouted. "Fight back. No surrender. Justice for the 10 billion. Human emotion was turning into a storm. A storm the Empire never planned for. Humanity might be small compared to the Galactic Empire. But humans had something the Empire never understood. Fury born from pain. And unity born from loss. Meanwhile, inside a hidden military hangar, a small strike team gathered. Some were soldiers, some engineers, some pilots. Every one of them had lost someone on the destroyed colony world. Captain Rhea, the leader of the team, stood in front of them. Her voice was calm but filled with fire. "We are not just a team," she said, "we are Earth's first answer." They entered the enormous chamber where Project Aegis was stored. The machine looked unstable, dangerous, almost alive. Blue energy pulsed inside its core. Lights flickered around it like sparks trying to escape. An engineer whispered, "If this thing wakes up the wrong way, we all die. But Captain Rhea stepped forward without hesitating. We either die using it, or die waiting for the Empire to destroy us, she said. No more fear. No more watching. We fight. The team began powering up Project Aegis. The floor vibrated beneath their feet. The machine roared like a sleeping beast being forced awake. Energy waves rippled through the air. One engineer shouted, "The system is unstable." Another yelled, "Hold it. Just hold it one more second." The lights exploded in a blinding flash. Everyone shielded their eyes. But when the flash faded, Project Aegis was glowing steadily, alive and functional. Captain Rhea breathed out slowly. "It works," she whispered, "it actually works." But before they could celebrate, an alarm rang through the hangar. Earth's satellites detected movement in deep space. A message flashed on the command center screen. "The Empire fleet has entered the outer solar system." Captain Rhea looked at her team. Fear and fire burned together in their eyes. "They are coming," she said softly. Then louder. "We fight now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now." Earth braced for the greatest war in human history. The countdown to humanity's revenge had started. The Empire fleet moved through the darkness of space like a wall of metal shadows. Their engines burned blue trails, cold and deadly. They were not rushing, not hurrying. They were confident, calm, almost relaxed. Because in their minds, Earth was already dead. Deep inside the United Earth Defense Base, Captain Rhea and her team stood around Project Aegis. The machine hummed loudly, glowing with a strange blue light. The energy inside it pulsed like a heartbeat. No one knew if it was safe. No one knew if it would kill them before it saved them. Dr. Hale ran tests on the machine with shaking hands. "Energy levels rising," she said quietly, "too fast, too unstable." Captain Rhea stepped closer. "What do we need to control it?" Hale looked at her team. "Someone must stay connected to the core. If the energy spikes, they must stabilize it manually." The room went silent. Everyone understood what that meant. Whoever controlled the core during battle, might not survive. Before anyone could volunteer, the base trembled softly. Everyone froze. Alarms blared across the entire command center. A voice shouted from the speakers. "Warning! Empire scout ships entering the asteroid belt. They are scanning for Earth defenses." This was earlier than expected. The Empire was moving faster now, cautious but deadly. If they found Project Aegis, if they detected Earth preparing to fight, the Empire would fire instantly, and Earth would fall before the real battle even started. Captain Rhea clenched her fists. "We need to move Project Aegis to the launch site. Now." Her team rushed to activate the transport systems. Robotic arms locked around the machine, lifting it carefully. The ground shook with each mechanical step as the device was carried deeper into the underground tunnels. Meanwhile, in the command center, Earth's leaders watched the enemy fleet on the hologram screen. It looked like a swarm of red lights crawling closer every second. One general whispered, "We are not ready, we are too slow." But the commander shook his head. "We don't need to be ready," he said bitterly, "we just need to survive the first minute." Back in the tunnel, the team moved quickly, their footsteps echoing. The air was cold and damp. Captain Rhea felt the weight of everything on her shoulders. Billions of lives depended on a machine that even humans did not fully understand. Suddenly the lights in the tunnel flickered. The floor vibrated. A loud metallic groan echoed through the walls. Engineer Noah shouted. "Captain! The Empire is sending energy pulses. They are scanning the underground." Rhea's heartbeat raced. "They can't find us. Move faster." The team ran as alarms screamed overhead. Dust fell from the ceiling. The ground shook harder each second. Project Aegis began to glow brighter, reacting to the alien scans. Its core pulsed like a wild beast trying to break free. Dr. Hale screamed. The energy wave is destabilizing it. Noah ran to the control panel, hands shaking as he tried to calm the machine. Sparks burst out, hitting the walls. The tunnel filled with blue light. For a moment, everyone froze, blinded. The machine roared like thunder. And then, it settled, humming softly like before. Captain Rhea exhaled slowly. That was too close, she said, voice trembling. Hale looked at the readings and whispered. If the Empire had scanned one more second, it would have exploded. They finally reached the launch chamber. A massive underground hangar built for one secret purpose. To send Project Aegis into space so it could shield Earth. The chamber doors opened slowly, revealing a huge ship waiting in darkness. It was old, scratched, and forgotten by time. But its engines still worked. This ship would carry Project Aegis into the heart of the battle. Captain Rhea looked at her team. This is it, she said softly, there is no turning back now. Then a voice echoed through the chamber speakers. A young officer shouted from the command center. Captain. The Empire fleet has changed formation. They are preparing a test strike on Earth's orbit. Rhea's eyes widened. They're not waiting anymore. They want to weaken us before the real attack. Dr. Hale stared at Project Aegis. If they fire now, Earth's satellites will fall. Communications will collapse. More than that, the machine may overload. The entire room fell silent. Everyone looked at the glowing core. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Fast, unstable, almost frightened. Captain Rhea placed her hand on the machine. Her voice was calm, but full of something unbreakable. Then we launch now, she said. No delays. No fear. If we fail today, Earth dies tomorrow. Her team nodded, eyes filled with fire and fear. They climbed aboard the ship as engines roared to life. The hangar floor vibrated, dust falling from rusty pipes. The door to space began to open, revealing the black sky beyond. As the ship lifted from the ground, alarms screamed louder than ever. Earth's sensors detected a massive energy buildup from the Empire fleet. A first strike was seconds away. Captain Rhea stared into the darkness ahead. Her voice steady as steel. Hold on. This is where humanity shows them who we are. The ship shot forward, carrying Project Aegis into space. And the greatest battle in human history was about to begin. The ship carrying Project Aegis shot into space, leaving Earth's atmosphere behind. Inside, Captain Rhea sat strapped into her chair, heart pounding. Her team worked in silence, their faces pale but focused. Below them, Earth glowed like a blue jewel, beautiful, fragile, and in danger. In the distance, red lights flickered like stars. But they were not stars. They were Empire warships, dozens of them, forming a deadly wall across the solar system. Each ship was bigger than a city, covered in sharp metal armor that looked almost alive. Engineer Noah stared at the radar screen. They are scanning everything, he said softly, if they detect Aegis, they will fire instantly. Captain Rhea nodded. We stay dark. No signals. No engines above minimum power. But even without being detected, the danger was everywhere. The Empire ships released energy pulses into the void. Testing space, searching for any sign of human resistance. Each pulse made the ship shudder. Each pulse pushed Project Aegis closer to overload. Inside the command center on Earth, panic grew. The hologram map showed the Empire fleet changing formation again. Thousands of red arrows pointed toward Earth's orbit. The commander shouted. They are preparing their first strike. All defense systems activate. Earth's orbit lit up as defense platforms came online. Old satellites turned into weapons. Laser grids charged. Missile systems awakened after decades of silence. It was the highest level of readiness Earth had ever reached. But still, it felt too small, too weak. The commander whispered to himself. "Hold on, Rhea, get that machine into position." Back on Rhea's ship, Dr. Hale checked the energy levels. "The core is heating too fast," she said. "If we push it at full power, it might destroy the ship." Rhea looked at her. "And if we don't push it?" Hale swallowed. "Then the Empire will destroy Earth." There was no safe choice. Only the dangerous one. Rhea took a deep breath. "Prepare Project Aegis for activation." Suddenly, the entire ship rattled violently. A blinding flash erupted outside. Noah yelled. "Captain!" The Empire fired the first strike on Earth's orbit. Rhea rushed to the window. She saw something impossible. A massive red beam slicing through the darkness. It hit Earth's outer defense line and exploded. Fragments of satellites and weapons burned like falling stars. Earth shook from the impact. Cities felt the shockwave. People screamed, fearing the end had begun. On the ship, alarms screamed. Dr. Hale shouted. "Energy spike. The Empire's attack is destabilizing Aegis." The machine pulsed wildly, blue electricity dancing across its surface. Noah tried to stabilize it, fingers flying across the controls. "It's not enough," he yelled, "it needs a manual override." Captain Rhea didn't hesitate. She ripped off her safety straps and ran to the core access chamber. A circular platform opened, revealing a glowing sphere inside Aegis. The air around it twisted and shimmered like heat waves. Hale screamed. "Rhea! The radiation is too strong. If you touch that interface, you—" "I know," Rhea said, her voice steady. "But we don't have a choice." She reached forward. Her hands shook as she connected her suit's interface wires to the machine. A burst of blue light shot through the chamber. The energy hit her like a storm. Her entire body trembled, but she didn't let go. "Stabilize," she shouted through clenched teeth. "Hold the energy level. Come on." Slowly, painfully, the machine responded. Its wild pulsing calmed. The blue light softened. A steady hum filled the chamber. Noah checked the readings. "Aegis is functional again." Hale wiped her eyes. "But Rhea, you can't disconnect now. If you do, it will collapse." Outside, the Empire fleet changed formation again. Now dozens of ships aimed their weapons at Earth. More beams charged, glowing red like burning suns. Earth braced for the next strike. Everyone held their breath. The commander whispered. "Please, Rhea, do it now." Captain Rhea stood inside the glowing chamber. Her body shaking, her vision blurring. But her voice stayed strong. "Activate Project Aegis," she ordered. Noah pressed the final switch. The ship lit up with a blinding blue flash. A wave of energy exploded outward. Racing across space faster than light. The Empire fired their second strike at the same moment. A gigantic beam, larger than the first. Enough to destroy half the planet's orbit. But before the beam could hit, the blue Aegis wave reached it. And something impossible happened. The Empire weapon bent. Then twisted. Then shattered like glass in space. The alien commanders froze. Their screens flickered with warnings. One shouted in disbelief. "What is this? How are humans resisting?" Earth watched the event with shock and joy. For the first time in history, humanity had stopped an Empire weapon. But Rhea's team knew the truth. It wasn't over. Behind the destroyed beam, a massive superweapon ship slowly moved forward. Huge, silent, deadly. The same weapon that killed 10 billion humans. And now, it aimed at Earth. The screen turned red with warnings. Noah whispered. "Captain, this is the same ship that destroyed the colony." Hale trembled. "If that weapon fires, Aegis cannot stop it at full power." Captain Rhea, still connected to the machine, opened her eyes. A weak smile formed on her lips. "Then we won't stop it," she said. "We'll turn it back on them." Her team stared at her in shock. "Is that even possible?" Rhea nodded. "If we survive long enough." Outside the window, the superweapon ship charged. Its core glowing blood red. The final moment before the end. Humanity's greatest battle was seconds away from its turning point. And everything depended on whether Captain Rhea could hold Project Aegis long enough to strike back. The Empire's superweapon ship floated in space like a dark metal god. Its surface pulsed with red veins of energy. Deep inside the core, the same power that destroyed 10 billion humans began to rise again. The glowing light expanded, brighter, hotter, deadlier with every second. On Captain Rhea's ship, Project Aegis shook violently. Blue sparks jumped across the floor. Alarms screamed so loud the metal walls vibrated. Noah shouted over the noise. "Captain! The core is reaching critical level. If you stay connected, you will burn alive." Rhea didn't move. Her hands were still locked onto the glowing interface. Her skin burned, her suit cracked, her vision faded in and out. But her voice was steady. "I am not moving. Not until this is finished." Dr. Hale wiped tears from her eyes as she watched the readings. "Her heart rate is collapsing. Rhea, please." But the captain only tightened her grip. "Tell me when the Empire weapon reaches full charge." Outside, the superweapon's red core kept growing. It lit up the entire battlefield. The light touched even Earth, casting a blood-red glow over the oceans and clouds. People all across the planet looked up in terror. Some held their families, some prayed, others screamed. Not knowing if they had seconds left to live. Inside the command center, the commander stared at the screen. "Rhea, whatever you are planning, do it now." Back on the ship, Noah shouted. "Captain! Empire weapon at 90% charge." Hale added quickly. "Aegis energy wave ready." "But, Captain, it will kill you if we push it this far." Rhea smiled weakly. "Good," she said, "that means it's strong enough." The chamber around her glowed white-blue. Her suit melted in thin lines. Her hair floated in the air as energy wrapped around her like a storm. Noah looked at her and whispered. "She's becoming part of Aegis." Hale nodded. "She's synchronizing with it, but if she reaches full sync, she can never disconnect." Outside, the superweapon reached 100%. The entire ship twisted open like a giant metal flower, revealing a cannon capable of destroying worlds. The alien commander spoke coldly. "End them." The weapon fired. A massive beam of red energy roared through space. Straight toward Earth. Fast, unstoppable, burning everything in its path. The moment the beam fired, Rhea shouted. "Noah! Release Aegis wave, now." Noah slammed his hand on the control. A blinding blue wave exploded outward from the ship. Space itself vibrated. The blue wave and the red beam collided. A shockwave spread across the solar system. Satellites spun out of control, ships trembled, Earth's atmosphere rippled. For a long moment, nothing happened. The red beam held steady. Then it began to bend. Slowly at first, then faster. Energy twisted like a giant rope being forced to turn. The aliens inside the superweapon ship shouted in shock. "The beam is reversing." "Impossible." The red beam curved in a full arc and pointed back toward the superweapon ship. The alien commander's face froze in horror. "No. Shut down the weapon. Shut it. But it was too late. The reversed energy slammed into the Empire's superweapon. The ship glowed bright red. Then white. Then it exploded in a massive shockwave that lit up space like a second sun. On Earth, people watched the explosion fill the sky. The shockwave reached the moon, shaking dust across its surface. The Empire fleet panicked. Their formations broke apart. Their weapons failed. Their communication systems melted under the energy pulse. For the first time in Galactic Empire history, they retreated. Earth had won. Not by luck. But by fury. By courage. By the will of one human who refused to bow. Noah and Hale looked at the glowing Aegis core. Captain Rhea's body stood still, frozen in light. Her eyes were closed, but a faint smile rested on her face. Noah whispered. She saved all of us. Hale nodded as tears ran down her cheeks. She became the shield that Earth needed. Suddenly, the Aegis core stopped shaking. The lights dimmed. And a soft voice echoed from the machine. Rhea's voice, calm and distant. Earth is safe. Fight for it. Grow. Rise. Do not fear the stars. Aegis went silent. The team stood in quiet sadness and pride. Earth had lost a hero. But gained something far greater. A legend. Across the world, people celebrated. Children pointed at the glowing sky where the Empire ship once stood. Families hugged, strangers cried, fires of hope lit across nations. The commander broadcast a message to every human. Today, humanity stood against the impossible, he said. And we did not break. We did not surrender. We fought back. And we won. He raised his hand toward the sky. This is not the age of fear anymore, he said. This is the age of humans rising. And far away, across the galaxy, the Empire listened to Earth's signal. For the first time, they felt something new. Fear. Humanity was no longer prey. Humanity was rising.